Which games have the most generous max? I have played Honkai Impact, Azulin, Genshin, PGR, Arc Knights, Blue Archive, Tower of Fantasy, Alice Fiction, Tucked OP, Symphony, Reverse 1999, Fate, Grand Order, and Nikke. I am just a traveler. I see what games have to offer and I evaluate them. Which ones are the ones likely to provide the consistent enjoyment with less FOMO? I want to hear all about different mechanics in games that provide quality of life and make players happy. Oh, so by max, he's talking about mechanics. It's really hard to compare all of these, though, to be honest, right? They're all very, very different. I have a very good impression of PGR, Punishing Grey Ravens, since farming pools there is very easy. They don't make you sweat for pools unless you have a baby account, but that's normal in any gacha. As a new player, well, most plus weapon banner is a PT of 30, I believe. Alright, so he's judging it from pools. He's judging the mechanics from gacha aspect. PGR is the only gacha game I've seen that has gear loadouts. Okay, which I feel is like a necessity, with some games forcing you to play many characters at the same time. Like Genshin, for example, with 2 teams needed for endgame. But Genshin's loadout, like, you gotta have their own artifacts pretty much, right? Then Tuck OP has so many modes that require to play so many different teams. You spend so much time switching the gears. Nikke is even worse than Tuck OP, but just early game, because end game, the gear becomes locked to the character, so you stop switching the gear. The end game, the gear becomes locked to the character, true. It's overload gear, so you cannot unequip the gears, alright? However, I prefer games that don't have weapons or equipment banner, less FOMO, less experiencing disappointment of not getting a new hype up character or feeling like even though you got a character, your character is weak because you don't have a weapon nor the dupe's extra abilities or stats. I love games where dupes are basically irrelevant. In games like Arc Knights or Nikke, it just comes down to strategy or skill. Okay, that's fair. Dupes irrelevant is going to be something that's really, really rare because most gacha games want to entice you to pull multiple copies, want to entice you to do more gacha, and that's how they get their money, right? So there are a few games I've seen pulling for characters dupes eliminated. Okay, they created a system where you farm a currency in a game that essentially allows you to get that power up that you would get from a dupe. I've seen it in Blue Archive, Alice Fiction, and Tucked OP, but I saw in the comments other games that do it as well. Arc Knights also has a very easy AFK. Farming of pools is difficult at first, but once you clear the content, it's instant or automatic gameplay. I like the token system trait for characters that you gain with each pool, available in Tower of Fantasy, Nikke, and Arc Knights as well. Talking about Arc Knights, they and Alice Fiction have a system that you can do AFK time explorations. You just click once and come back around 10 hours later to claim a character or piece of equipment or weapon on Alice Fiction. So it's like a dispatch system, right? Why does this matter? Why do you want a dispatch system? So let's talk about Nikke. Has a similar system just for clicking on your friends' names daily. You get free pulls that can randomly grant highest rarity characters for dumb gambling or gacha addicts to quell your addiction of pulling. PTs. If the game doesn't have reasonable PTs, I am playing it. 80 to 200 depending on how generous games are with pulling currency. Anything above 200, get lost. PT carryover is a must for me. So Blue Archive is out, right? Blue Archive doesn't carry over. You can see those in Hoyoverse games. Tuck OP is pretty common by now. I've seen PT being shared in between 2 limited characters banners in games like Honkai Star Rail and Tucked OP. Okay? Tower of Fantasy has one of the most generous PT system in my opinion. Even if you pull a max rarity character, it wouldn't even reset the PT, it just keeps going up until you got the character. There's a mechanic added to Nikke for obvious reason. Mega grind on leveling is called Synchronizer, the synchro slot, which allows you to just level up just 5 characters and the rest sync up to their level. Just level, not skills or gear. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Since you save experience resources, would love to see that in other games. For example, Genshin. I got so many characters in Genshin, but I will never use them because I'm not going to farm the resources to level them up. So I wish Genshin would have Nikke Synchronizer system. Ah, wow. This is the first time I heard people say that. They love the synchronizer system in Nikke. Anyways, after playing so many games, my top pick is Nikke, which has made me have higher standards for other games to play. I will explain why. Okay, let's go. Nikke is the top pick. Nikke is the standard definer. Nikke. So let's talk about this. Why? Why is Nikke standard so high now? So Nikke barely does limited banners and has a wish list system to get all non-limited characters. Doesn't apply to pilgrims, which some of the best units. Pilgrims are limited, just lower chance of getting. So what does this mean? Basically, you can skip 3 to 4 banners and just save, go all in on limited banners, which gives you 3 to 4 months of saving, and this is good for free to play, by the way. This may vary up and down a little depending on how often they release seasonal characters plus collabs, which are the limited ones. Okay, that's true. Alright, in the end, after saving for so long, it's very unlikely that you will miss out on any character if you follow the strategy. Okay guys, follow the strategy. Alright, so what you need to do is you never pull, only skip banners, only pull for limited. Okay, only pull for limited. Skip 3 to 4 banners, only pull for limited. Alright, and then you will always, if you follow this strategy, this is how you win. Okay? So PT is a 200 token trade, 200 pulls for any character. There's not a time limit to use these tokens, and you can participate in any banner without consuming tokens or PT. Unlike other games, that as soon as you keep pulling on banner, the PT gets auto-consumed if you pull any max rarity character. So what he meant is this, the PT system, right? So Nikke PT system is the 200 gold tickets, right? The 200 gold tickets, right? So this is what he meant. For those of you who don't understand, alright? It's a bit confusing. After you get 200 gold tickets, you can still continue pulling. You can still go to 300, gold tickets, right? You can go up. You can stack as many of these. I can't even spell. You can stack as many of these as possible, right? You can keep pulling. It doesn't consume it. So it's what he's trying to say. So let's talk about Genshin PT system. If it's in Genshin, it's like every 90 pulls, right? So once you reach 90, you're forced to use that PT. So that's what he's trying to say. Genshin and Honkai Star Rail, right? So once you reach 90, you're forced to use that PT. So you have to use that PT no matter what. But in Nikke, you can still continue pulling because it's like a separate ticket. It's like a different currency, right? It's like a different system. So that's what he's trying to say. He can still continue pulling without consuming the PT. But in Genshin and Honkai Star Rail, once you reach 90, you gotta use the PT. The PT is going to be used. You can't stack even more. Okay, so that's what he's trying to say. Alright? So he thinks this is better. This is like a better system. So he's trying to say other games, as soon as you keep pulling on the banner, the PT gets auto-consumed. So think about it, right? Think about it. Actually, what he's saying is true. You guys know why? How many of you guys have heard somebody or know somebody that tried to pull for 4 stars in Genshin or Honkai Star Rail? They want to pull the 4 stars, but they accidentally get the 5-star character. How many of you guys have seen that or know somebody that do that, or this has happened to you before? Like, remember in Honkai Star Rail, somebody pulled for Hanya, accidentally get Ho-Ho, accidentally get Argenti. They don't even want those, they want to pull for 4-star. So if you think about it, Genshin players will love this system. Not me, but my friends. Yeah, so you know, that you have heard that, you have seen that, you know that's a thing. People actually want to pull for 4 stars, but they don't want to consume the 5 stars. So there's a lot of people that actually would kill for that. They have base higher rates pulls than other games, meaning the chance of getting characters without PT is much higher. Again, he's right. Think about it. Nikke, 4%. Gan, is it 0.7? Is it 0.6, 0.7? Reverse, 1.5. Nikke one is one of the highest one, right? It is pretty impressive, right? If you just look at the percentage, I get it, right? You shouldn't compare it that way, but he's trying to compare it in that sense. It seems high, but when you compare to losing 50-50s in other games, it's about the same. But remember that we have about 3 to 4 months to save because no limited banner, spam one after the other. I wouldn't say spam, but like there are some collabs that have two limited banners, right? So I have been able to earn enough tokens to trade for 3 any character on a banner. That means at any moment, if I will not be able to get the character before 200 pulls or ran out of pulls, I can use those tokens to guarantee a character. So he's talking about the Nikke gold tickets, right? Remember I talked about the Nikke gold tickets? You can, you know, he's able to have that. Which means I could probably skip around 8 or more banners and still get all the characters or use tokens on characters getting rerun. Because of the wishlist system that allows you to target specific non-limited characters, because after the time, they get added to the regular or standard pulls banner. They recently brought back seasonal limited characters and even include one for free on the event shop, which is the brain dead content. Nikke is a grind for power, which makes the game very sweaty even on story progression. But the good thing is that Nikke resource grind just gets easier and easier as you power up, meaning that after some time, you barely spend any time doing dailies, and eventually you can auto or just do sweeps. Pools farming is very easy. The developers are constantly sending codes. Ooh, he's putting the coupon codes. The developers are always giving coupon codes on Nikke. Just check their official Discord. They got so many codes. They have a channel just for coupon codes. Also, there are events that give so many pulls. Okay? They are so brain dead. A 1-month-old account or even less can get max rewards in their events. Don't sleep on Nikke just because it's the butt or booba jiggle simulator. Nikke is probably the most unique gacha when it comes to gameplay. True, most unique. No other games like Nikke. I don't think there's any gacha that can provide similar gameplay. How long is this essay? Also, for those people that enjoy team building, you'll find that the game creates very complex team comps due to how detailed the skills are. Character ultimate sequence requirement and managing and micromanaging multiple characters at the same while taking consideration of AI behavior when you're not manually using characters. Damn, this is super complex. The ultimate sequence requirement is one of the features that makes the game hard because it pushes the player highly for letting any unit die. Okay, characters have a role for using ultimate. Ultimate 1, Ultimate 2, Ultimate 3. So he's talking about the burst, right? Burst 1, burst 2, burst 3. Okay. If your character Ultimate 1 dies, you can never activate any ultimate. If your Ultimate 2 dies, then you cannot use Ultimate 3 where most damages come from. True. This guy is so good, man. The ultimate skill have a very cool or sus animations. Okay? But in the end, if you play seriously, you have toggled them off, it just messes with your aiming and timing. Finally, the boss battles. They are very badass with epic music. Okay? Surprisingly, the story is top tier too and might get an anime as they have hinted. Anyways, if you know any other cool or convenient mechanics in gacha games or you would like to see in gacha games, please let me know. I'm always interested in learning how these games run things. Or if you find other games to be the best, please free to explain their mechanics, why they are so good. Okay. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this essay? I thought he's going to talk more about the mechanics, but in the end, it's just about why Nikke is the best gacha game ever. As a Nikke player, yeah, I do agree.